Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of the Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lined up for you this morning. Got a great broadcast lined up for you this morning, as we always do. Got an amazing topic we're going to talk about. But before we get started, before we get into that, I want to find out how each and every one of you are doing this morning. How you doing this morning? I hope you're going well. Today is Thursday. We've almost made it through another week. We've almost made it through another week. Let me see here. Hold on for a second. Let me see. I'm doing some things here. Give me a second. Okay, good deal. Good deal. All right, great. Yeah, I hope you all are having a great week, man. Like I said, we already here Thursday. We got one more day to go. Tomorrow's Black Conversations. We're gonna have another conversation based on different things that's going on in and around the community and communities. And we're gonna start implementing something a little different into this well moving forward. Y'all gonna be surprised when y'all see what we're doing with that. We're actually gonna bring people in from different areas. We're going to bring people in from different areas to tell us what's going on in and around their area, their community, their town, or what have you. We're gonna implement that as well. So it's gonna be almost like reporters on demand, if you will. And so, if something's going on in your community, we're gonna give you the link. You're gonna be able to call in. You're gonna be able to call in or tune in, or we'll be able to view you and be able to talk about everything that you got going on in and around your community. I think that's going to be something that's going to be huge, and I'm looking forward to that element as well. Definitely looking forward to that element. But what is going on? As a matter of fact, what is going on in your community? What is going on? If there's something going on and you want to talk to us and you want to share it with us, we're more than happy to have you. All you have to do is give us a call. It's a simple number. It's 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. Love to hear from you. Love to hear your input as to what's going on in and around your community. This that part of what we do here at the Morning Glow is always open. If there's something going on, if there's some ills going on in your community, I put it that way. Some fracking mess going on in your community, and you wanna voice your opinion on it, give us a call. 508. His number is 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. Got a question. Let me see. I think we got somebody in with us. Let me see, who do we have here? Kurt. We got Kurt with us early this morning. Kurt, good morning, brother. How you doing?
Man, what's up, man? What's going on with you?
Man,
What's going on with your family?
trying to keep this thing rolling, brother. Trying to keep this thing rolling, brother. You know how we do. Um, Kurt, I was gonna put a scenario out there, and it's perfect that you called in, because you're the perfect person, to one of the perfect people to address what I'm about to say. Um, Kurt, you run into a guy and a girl. You out having lunch, and you run into a guy and a girl that's arguing. They're arguing, and you kind of walk up, because they're in a public place. You walk up here, what's going on? Is everything okay? You ask the question, and he say, nah, man. Now she man, we've been together all this time, man, and she constantly lying to me, man. And people have a thing about people lying to them, especially somebody that's close to them. And they say, man, she's constantly lying to me all the time, lie to me all the time. And he said, man, how do you feel about when somebody lied to you? And you answer the question, and you notice that she got a couple of scars on her, a couple of bruises and everything. And he tried to tell you that he did that to her only because he was angry, and that he hate the fact that she keep lying. Curtis, what's your conversation with him and her?
Oh man, that's man. I don't even know what kind of conversation I would have. I mean, I really don't have all the information of what's going on. You know what I mean? You don't want to jump to conclusions.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Um, I guess the conversation would probably go in the direction of, hey, I don't mean no harm, but I need to seek some kind of counseling.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's straight trust issues there. So and this ain't an issue that just started. And if he telling you she constantly lying to me, he's telling you in so many words that like this is something that's been ongoing. She's been
Mm-hmm.
doing this over and over and over again, and he
Yes.
been catching her.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't like that, the conversation might even lead to look. I mean, what's happening to you, bro? You bringing it on yourself. Because if you don't like that, and she constantly doing it, why you still here?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's
You
good.
know what I mean? At the end of the day, you can't blame somebody for being who they are.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when I do have these conversations with folk, and sometimes folks will call me because they know that I'm a counselor or whatever. They'll call me and they'll want some relationship suggestions. You know what I mean? And I'm a firm believer in you know I trust people for who they are, not what I want them to be, not where I want them to be, not how I want them to be, not what some folk call I molded them, which I think is a setup right there.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't mold nothing. Um, but I try and trust folk for who they are, where they are, when they are.
Mm-hmm.
That way, if I trust them like that, guess what? I ain't never set myself up for failure, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? If they do something that just don't add up. Okay, I knew he was going to do that. Like last
Mm-hmm.
week when we was talking, remember last week we was talking, and I said, if you dating somebody and you know that they're a thief, don't get
Mm-hmm.
mad if they steal from you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You knew they was a thief. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So,
Mm-hmm.
I think my conversation would probably be driven towards what do you two actually know about each other,
Mm-hmm.
and then take it from there. Like, okay, so how is it that you can coexist? It, if all possible, remain together, but at least be able to coexist. If you don't, um,
Mm-hmm.
what's the middle ground there? You know what I mean? It might be a situation where the middle ground has never been established at all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And see, my thing is, and one of my issues with it is he said, and you addressed it, Curtis. You addressed it perfectly. You say that he said she's always constantly lying over and over and over. So does that not mean that she is a liar? If she's constantly lying and she's lying to you all the time about all different things, and you allow yourself to get mad, you're not accepting, like you just said, Curtis, you're not accepting who she is, because if she's constantly lying, then she's a liar. And how can you allow yourself to get mad if you know she's a liar and she constantly lying? How could you get mad if she lies? That's what she do.
You can't. You don't have that. I'm glad you said that. You can't. You don't have that right.
Mm-hmm.
The other side of this coin, and this is no disrespect to anybody,
Mm-hmm.
but the other side of this coin is something that I've noticed over time. Is most of the people, I'm not going to say all, but there's a large amount of people that if they lead with you and their lead comment is, look, I can't stand a liar, I can't stand a thief.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if their lead conversation is what they cannot stand, right? When you really do the homework and you get to know this person, that which they cannot stand to some degree, something that they used to do to others prior to meeting you.
Mm.
So, of course, I'm not going to stand a liar if I've been lying my way throughout my life. And now I'm on the straight and narrow, and I'm right. I know what it feels like. I've physically seen what it feels like to be the person telling a lie and how it made that other person feel.
Yes.
So I don't want to
Yes.
feel like that. I've
Exactly.
personally seen what it felt like to steal from somebody and to see a family, you hit a family bank account and now they on the street. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like there's how can I put this, man? There's a response that you see. It's just like I can't stand nobody cheating on me. Okay, well, I had to ask one time in a session, okay, if you have a problem with people cheating on you, I don't want to condone
Mm-hmm.
that somebody cheats on you, but let's go a little deeper. How many times have you cheated on someone else?
Mm-hmm. Come on.
How many times did you play fade the dozens like that? What's going on there? What happened that creates this disliking for that?
Mm-hmm.
And more than more than I care to talk about, I've come to find out that that very same person that did not like that, for example, was very promiscuous. Um, was doing was doing the same things that they didn't like at one point in their life. They got it together, and now that they got it together, the expectation or the standard is, oh, I won't let that happen to me
Mm-hmm.
because I did it to other people. But a lot of people ain't willing to admit that.
Exactly. Exactly. We had
And
Don.
that's no disrespect to anybody. Let me put that out there. That's no disrespect to anybody. I'm just saying what I've observed over my time on this planet.
Exactly, exactly. And we just had Donald Toussaint. We had Donald Toussaint. Donald, you get a chance, brother. Call back in. I was going to come to you, but Kurt, he was explaining something. I didn't want to interrupt him in the process of him explaining it. But Kurt, my thing is right here. I can say to that person, and they're actually, man, did you see that? And even if you did see it, if you was in a place when it conspired, and she lied, and he said, man, did you see that? Did you see that? Did you see her lie? I would say to him, I'm going to go to Tucson because Tucson is with as well. I would say, yes, I did see that. Yes, I did see that. But I also saw how you responded to it. I also saw how you responded. Let me get Tucson's take on this right here. Good morning, Donald Tucson. How you doing this morning?
Mr. Country Sale.
I'm country. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And in the country. And I love it. I love being country. Absolutely. We got I think we got I think we got VP with us as well. We're gonna go to him in a second. But let me ask you this question, Tucson. This and this is not our topic. We always start with something outside. You're at a place, you're having lunch, sitting by yourself, and you notice there's a couple right just not too far from you, and they're arguing. They're arguing, they're going in. And so you say, "Oh, let me go over here and see, what's going on. Let me see why they
Mhm.
arguing like that." So you get up and you go over there and say, hey, brother. You talk to the gentleman. You say, hey, brother. What's going on, man? He said, man, I'm getting tired of this, man. She always, always, always lying to me, man. I hate when somebody lie to me. She's a constant liar. And you look at her and you realize she got a couple of bumps and bruises on her, man. And you say, man, what happened to her right there, man? He said, man, I lost my control, man. And she lied to me, man. And I'm so frustrated with this lying. Donna, what is your conversation from that point?
You put me in something I ain't got nothing business with. First of all,
Mm-hmm.
I ain't going over that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, not me. No, but when you said she had a couple of bumps and bruises, the first thing that came to my mind is he trying to beat himself out of her.
Mm. Wow.
There's something going on with him. There's
Mm-hmm.
something going on with him
Mm-hmm.
that he sees in her that he don't like. So he's using her to beat himself out of her. Does that make any
Mm-hmm.
Do you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. And that's
Because sometimes we abuse. We won't look at the man in the mirror. We attack somebody else because we don't like that thing in us. You ever heard a person that used to smoke say, "I can't stand smoking,"
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and everybody they meet that smoke, they just dog them out. It
Mm-hmm.
used to be that. It used to be that. But man, you ever got involved in a domestic violence uh, situation?
It could be ugly.
That ain't good.
Yeah, it could be real ugly.
Yeah, because
Mm-hmm.
see now the first thing, and I remember well, I can't say that, but I remember that someone got involved in an argument between the actually was his sister and her husband,
Mm-hmm.
and he decided to get involved. And you know the next thing she said, "Leave my husband alone."
Mm.
Before you know it, she had then jumped on him.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. That's usually how it
So
happens.
you know, we we look at people and say, "Man, I can't stand this. I can't stand that." But you know, really, that's something in us
Mm-hmm.
because you know, liars don't like lies.
Exactly. Exactly. Do you think that sometimes a person become the very thing that they hate?
Uh, I don't know. I don't know if they become the very thing they hate, but they once was the thing that they hate.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Got you. Got you.
See, I don't fool around with folks, you know, that like to smoke that weed,
Mm-hmm.
stay out all night partying, doing the coup de brown, just getting drunk as coup de brown. I ain't gonna be around that.
Mm-hmm. Drunk is Cootie
Because as
Brown.
far as I'm concerned, yeah, you ever heard of Cuda?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I done heard of Cootie Brown. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Cuda get to the Cuda get to the party early and stay late,
Yes, sir. Last one, look, first one to come and last one to leave, and
and he ain't got no money.
and want to take a couple of drinks with him when he leave, and broke is a joke. Broke is a joke. Let me see. we got VP. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, morning. I'm doing good, but I missed you guys. I
Man,
had a funeral, and every time we went late nights, and I couldn't wake up in time to be on the show. But we're driving home now, so I'm on a day that I'm usually not on.
there you go. There you go. Hey,
I got Taylor with me too in the car.
good deal. Hey, good morning, young lady. How you doing?
Greetings, salutations.
Good deal. Good deal. We asking a question, and I want to hear both of y'all take on this right here. BP, I'm definitely coming to you first, man. I want to hear what you got to say about this scenario that I put out there. Now, you're in a place having lunch by yourself, and you notice there's a couple there, and they argue. They having a very heated discussion, and you get up, you say, "Man, I can't even enjoy my meal, man. All this mess going on." You go over there, you say, "Hey, man, what's going on?" And he said to you, man, I hate the fact, man, she's always like, she's constantly lying to me all the time, lying. I hate a liar. And you look at her and realize, she got a little few bumps and bruises on her, man, a couple of little dings on her face and everything. And he said, well, what happened? You asked her, what happened? He said, man, I lost my control, man. She lied again, man. And I just hate a liar, man. She's just constantly lying to me. VP, what is your conversation from that point?
Oh, to be a stranger, to be a stranger to walk up to him, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
My thought pattern's gonna change because I don't know anything about him. I don't know why he wants to call her a liar. But seeing the bruises on her face, look, Nick lets me know that he's abusive. Or that'll be my assumption. Maybe she did. It happened somewhere else, but I'm going to think that there's something wrong with the alignment of this couple, and it's more dangerous than it seems.
Mm-hmm.
My first initial thing would be that maybe he's self-projected the lie. However, you never want to put all your eggs in one basket because people do lie a lot to hide who they truly are from people. It's a mode of protection that I've learned you put on.
Mm-hmm.
He's just not communicating properly or trying to figure out the communication properly of why he thinks she's lying. Is he not asking the right question? Is he setting her up to make her feel like every time she does something it's a lie? What actions is she taking to combat the feeling that this guy has that she's always lying.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but that's a tough one coming from a stranger's position. Because you also don't want to get yourself in there and get too nosy, and then he gets to jumping on you too, and now you got bumps and bruises. You got to break this dude's neck in public.
Yes, sir.
You go to jail.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, what if? Now, what if it's somebody that you've been knowing for a long time, and you know that she indeed has a history of not only to him, but to a lot of people. She lied to a lot of people. Would that change the scenario at all?
Yeah, that would, only because now I know the history.
Mm-hmm.
And if this person, now I know if he beat on her.
Mm-hmm.
That's different, because now I know him.
Yeah.
And if she's bruised up like this, they're toxic to each other. Period.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because my friend, if you're my friend or somebody associate I know, and we both know this girl, and we both know she's a liar, and no matter what you've done to try to change, she's gonna constantly lie anyway. Then, and you're not married, because that's another key thing. If y'all just in a relationship, then you need a book, because she ain't gonna have no problem doing it while you're married either.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're married, then it's time that you have to sit down and open up this book called the Holy Bible and figure out what spirit is sitting on this girl's chest or this girl's back to make her feel like being a pathological liar is the right way to go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because somewhere she feels that lying is what stripping her mentality or her stronghold on this in this position in the relationship that she's in.
Mm-hmm.
Did she learn this behavior from you? Because if we know her, then it's probably something that she had to do for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a learned behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly.
he's probably not going about it the right way to figure out why she is constantly telling people fibs, lies, false truths, white lies to better the environment around her.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good.
And then this one is it, because it can also go in different routes too. Is she lying about hiding money? Is she lying about having a relationship? Is she lying about old relationships she's had? Is she lying about the job opportunities and going on vacation, but really doing, it's a lot of open scenarios that he could be saying, "Oh, I'm tired of her lying about it." Finally hit the fan.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Hold on for a second, brother. Let me go. Friday, what's on your heart, sis? What do you say to that? What is your conversation like at that point?
I think my initial reaction, if I don't know them, would be to I might try to see when she goes to the bathroom or drop a note somehow seeming inconspicuous, just so that I can talk to her alone to find out if she's okay. I think, if he's going on and on about lying, a lot of times it's him. I'm not saying that she may not have or doesn't or hadn't before. Maybe she only lied once. It's information there we don't know to fully analyze the situation. But a lot of times, if the aggressor is that aggressive about it and going on and on, it's more about him than it is her. But she's the easier target.
Mm-hmm.
And so if it's somebody I do know, so I would try to get her alone, maybe when she goes to the bathroom, to find out her status. And if it seems like it's getting really heated, like he may even strike her in public, then I would probably call the police and give an anonymous tip that I think that someone's in danger.
Okay. That's good.
If it is somebody that I do know, then I would hope that I had the opportunity prior to being out in public to intervene. But that's going to take careful. That's going to take caution. I had a friend that I lost 2 do domestic violence. And it was a very delicate situation because my son was really young at the time, and she reached out to me and she wanted help, but it was only so much that I could do because the challenge was that she was in a state of fear. So once some help did try to occur and trying to extract her from the environment, she folded because it was greater fear of what's going to happen if he catches up to her or finds her, or so she figured it was better for her to stay, and unfortunately she ended up dying. But that, is a real thing that she will lie to protect him because of the fear of what could come from him, even more so than what he's already enduring. So it's a very delicate situation, but if I do know them, hopefully I would have the opportunity prior to a public incident to have intervened.
That's good. That's good. Got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning, Raheem, in the Morning Gllow fam.
Captain Leonard, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Hey. What's going on, man?
Hey, doing good. You been listening this morning? You know the scenario we're talking about?
No, I just finished. I just logged on.
Okay. Well, Leonard, you're out and you're having lunch by yourself. Hypothetical situation. You're having lunch by yourself, and you notice that there's a couple. You don't know them. They're over to the side and they're arguing, Leonard. They're going at it, man. You can't even enjoy your meal. They're going at it. They're going at it real hot and heavy. We got another somebody that's just called in, and they're going at it hot and heavy. You're sitting there trying to enjoy your meal. They're going at it hot and heavy. And so you get up, you get frustrated, you get up, you go, hey brother, what's going on, man? What's happening? And he say to you that, man, listen, she's just, man, she lie all the time. I'm getting tired of all this lying. She's constantly lying. I hate when somebody lied to me. And a lot of the time people hate, when somebody lied to them, especially somebody that's supposed to be close to them. And you look at her, man, and notice she got a couple of bumps and bruises on her, a couple of little dings on her. And you said, man, what happened? What happened to her face, man? He said, man, I lost my control, man. She just constantly keep lying. She just keep on constantly lying to me all the time. Leonard, what is your conversation from that point?
Oh, let me turn this up a little bit so I can hear you. First of all, I don't get involved in that. I mind my own business. If he approached me, that would be different. But I don't get in people's business like that.
And like I said,
hypothetically, I don't make assumptions and things like that.
Okay.
That's between them, and if they're causing enough problems, they probably should be asked to leave the restaurant.
But could her life be in danger if you ask them to leave the restaurant and they go to another place where he feel a little more?
That has nothing to do with me.
Wow. Okay. Cassandra, good morning. How you doing this morning? Cassandra? Yeah, I can't hear you. I can't. I can hear something trying to come through, but I'm not able to make out what you're saying.
Yeah.
There you go. Absolutely.
Okay.
Cassandra,
so
what are you doing?
Leonard's scenario is why a lot of women end up being killed because people say that's not my business. I'm gonna mind my business, and that's why we have such a high rate of death among women. It's one of the highest causes of the death of women. And so when we take that position, like that's not my business, that's their business, that's how women end up dying. Friday said something that was very important, trying to reach out to that person, but in a very discreet way, because fear is the way that abusers control people. So this is my thing. Even if she's a liar, then he needs to get away from her and just move away from her. But to abuse her and use the excuse that she's a liar, that doesn't wash for me. And it should not wash for anybody. And if I, as a woman, see a woman battered or bruised up, and he's telling her she pushed my buttons. I don't give a darn how many buttons she pushed. You had no right putting your hands on her. If she's that bad, you need to leave her.
Yeah. That's good. Curtis, what's on your heart? Talk to me, brother. Donna, coming to you next. Kurt, you there?
Yeah, I'm right here, bro. I had to get to my my mute button. Listen, you know what the real problem is? I think in this scenario, is truth be told, the domestic violence laws. That's the real problem. And when you look at the law itself and how it's carried out, if you look at the law does not work in favor of women. You understand? Like, when you look at the law and the way that it is written, in most cases, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, and I hate to call a spade, and I hate to sound racial, but the laws are written to protect rich white folk, rich white men who feel like they can tell their wives what to do, when to do it, how to do it, where to go, who to talk to, who not talk to. But if you look at it, the laws are not written to, forgive me, I'm picking up my trash can. The laws are not written to protect those women. And that's a large reason, to be honest with you. Some people want to go with the, she thought she loved him, that's why she didn't create a burning bed. I'll tell you, and the people I don't talk to, you know, in session, this, that, and the third, yeah, I get that I love them. But a lot of them didn't go to that burning bed because they didn't want to go to jail. There was a fear of their lives, and they didn't want to go to jail to protect their lives. You know, I mean, I watched my moms go through that thing for years, man. And even when I think about it, you know, it hurts. You know what I mean? I watched my mom go through it to the point that it actually pushed her to murder, man. Like, she reached under the mattress and grabbed my gun, man. Had I not had that gun on safety, she'd have shot my father right in front of my face. I mean, right in front of my face. Like, his blood would have probably spilled right in my face.
Wow.
So I just think that the laws, the way that they are written and or the way that they are carried out, is not beneficial to women. I'm a man, but let's call a spade, bro. Like, in this state, in Maryland has no self-defense law. So basically, I go in the house, I'm angry, I could beat the brakes off of AJ. If she grabs a knife and kills me, or she grabs a gun and shoots me, she still go to jail for manslaughter. Period. And she could be knotted up, you know what I mean? The head bust open to the white meat and that thing. But if the county, state, or city prosecutor still want to prosecute her for murder or for manslaughter, they can. And lastly, when you think about it, let's think about those girls. I think one of them was in Georgia. I think one was in Georgia, another one was in Florida. The two black girls who were supposedly, what they call them now, sex workers.
Yes.
And the dude didn't even pay them no money. Both dudes kidnapped them and was abusing them sexually, physically,
abusing them, and they just so happened to get a break. And in order to get away, they had to kill a dude.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of them got life without parole. The other one got like 60 years. Come on, bro. Like when you look at the overall laws, it don't seem like it favor. It don't seem like it even looks at the circumstances of the victim.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, oh, you just took a life. Like it's black and white. Oh, you just took a life. So we either going to charge you with murder, manslaughter, or we're not going to charge you at all.
Good deal. Good deal. Now, let's everybody keep in mind, we want to stay within our 3-minute window. We got a 3-minute thing where everybody talk within 3 minutes, and then we move to the next person so we can get everybody involved. So let's stay within that 3-minute window. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother?
I think that somebody said that you don't make a already public scene more of a public scene.
Mm-hmm.
Because if two people are in a heated discussion and you get involved in it, now you got 3.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you add to it. So the wise thing to do is seize the moment or opportunity that you get.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't know her name, but it's VP's wife. She says,
On Friday.
Maybe I'll wait till she gets to the restroom. Friday. She said that she wait possibly that she get up and goes to the restroom and kind of pull off to the side. You know, you always want to have a one-on-one conversation with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than get involved in a conversation or a situation that already exists. That's just me.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely.
Because if it's already blown up and you add to it, it's gonna blow up some more.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Add fuel to the fire.
It might not work out good for you.
Mm-hmm. So basically what you're doing, you're adding fuel to the fire.
Right. And here's one other thing. The reason why she's lying, she might be in a mode of survival.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Because she knows that he's going to do her something. So until she can get possibly out of it, she might say, "I paid the bill."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But she's stashing the money so that she can wait to the first opportunity to get the heck out of that situation.
Yep, to get away. Absolutely. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. Cassandra, coming to you next.
You know, I'm excuse me. You know, maybe I missed part of the conversation or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to understand how you gonna have it both ways, because everybody I know that be putting their hands on women wind up with a domestic violence case and a lot of problems.
Mm-hmm.
All a woman got to do is call and say you hit her, and they'll come and take you from your job or wherever you at and lock you up. Mm-hmm. So I mean, there must be there's a difference in perception of some type here. They're out eating dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Why you at dinner with somebody that act like that? Why?
Well, see, Leonard, sometimes, you know, I've seen situations very similar to it, man. Where
if I have my gun on me,
mm-hmm.
and you threaten me that way,
mm-hmm.
I'll shoot you.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're talking, and this dude, why is you in my business? He could get shot.
Leonard, I've seen situations where people, I don't want to one side this conversation, but when women has actually started doing, and they've never been into drugs at all, or any kind of drugs, alcohol, or anything, but because they get with the wrong guy, before you know it, he's making her do drugs. He's making her drink.
I mean, I'm not concerned with that.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying situations can happen. Situations can happen where she could be forced in a situation that she don't want to be in. I mean,
I know people that live like this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Details about their lives, how they carry on, and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to act as if this woman is not equal to this man.
Mm-hmm.
She has just as much right to choose what she wants to do, just like him.
But see, Leonard, that I understand what you're saying, and what you're saying is not wrong. But at the same time, I like to look at both sides of the coin, and I know that sometimes people are placed in situations.
Making assumptions.
Nah, it's not necessarily an assumption.
Did he hit her at the table?
What? The evidence is there that he did hit her. Whether it was at the table or not, the evidence is there.
He hit her at the table.
And and the question was asked, what happened to her? And he said, I lost my control. I lost my control.
So you just walk up to women that got marks on them and assume that they're being abused by the person they with?
Oh, I thought
Is that what I'm to understand?
Okay, I thought I had froze for a second. Like my screen went blank. Say that one more time, and I missed that part. I'm sorry.
So am I to understand, because you've seen a woman that may have had a mark on her, you assume that she was being beaten by the person she was eating with?
It's not an assumption. What I said in the scenario was, I asked the question was asked, what happened to her right there? And he said, I lost control, man. I lost control. So he's telling you right there that he did it. It's not an assumption. He said, I lost control because she keep lying. So it's not an assumption.
That's too far-fetched for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't believe someone tells you that they just hit a woman in the face, sitting right there in public.
Well, Leonard, I'm gonna tell you, brother. I've seen. Well, let me go to Cassandra, because Cassandra deal with this every day. Cassandra, what's on your heart? Cassandra, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay,
I'm here.
There you go.
It sounds like a simple scenario. I'm not telling people to go over there and say, "Hey, man, what happened to that girl? Why you?" I'm not saying that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you see something happening like that, then you need to, like Friday said, if she walks, like, gets to the bathroom, a lot of times they won't even let them go to the bathroom body, just to be totally honest. I'm just putting it out there so y'all will know. They will keep that woman so close to them because they have to maintain the control. And they know that if that woman gets out of their sight, there's a chance that she may say something. That's why they don't do social gatherings.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of abusers don't even take their women in social situations because they're afraid that they're going to talk to somebody. That's why there's isolation when you're in a relationship. They separate you from family and friends so that they can have more control. I'm not saying for anybody to go and get in the person's face. You could call the police.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if he says, listen to this. If he says, I hit her because she pushed my buttons, then right there, you could call the police. You ain't even got it'll stop right there.
Exactly.
And let them handle it.
Mm-hmm.
And let them handle it. I'm just saying, don't assume that a woman, no, she cannot just say something or do something. This is women's lives that we're talking about, and they lose their lives every day in the United States. Multiple women lose their lives to abusers because that control is so heavy that you won't tell your damn mama.
Mm-hmm.
You won't tell your mama.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Now,
she won't even tell her mama that something's happening.
Exactly. Now, Cassandra, Leonard was asking a question. He said, well, why would you be at a restaurant with somebody that's abusing you? Sometimes
because he said so. Because he said so. Because he said so. I don't care what you look like. Put some makeup on. I don't care if they can still see the bruises. And we're going out to eat because I want to, because I said so.
Mm-hmm.
That's why. It's real simple. It ain't even hard.
Mm-hmm.
Because he said so. She would be there because he said so.
Mm-hmm. Willingly or unwillingly, she's definitely gonna be there.
She got to be there. She got to be there.
Wow.
She got to be there.
VP, what's on your heart?
So I've seen both sides of this scenario. So I can see where Leonard's coming from, and I can definitely see where Cassandra's coming from. I've been around and known pathological liars, and I'm gonna agree with Cassandra on the first one. If this guy, because I don't want to just wait on this dude, because that's where the conversation is going. Even though it seems he's aggressive, if he feels this girl is lying all the time, why stay?
Mm-hmm.
You got to go, because obviously she ain't who she needs to be. And I can see it. I can see it from Leonard's. I know I see the hidden part, but if this girl's out in public with this man and he loses it and hits somebody, you never know what he may do to you if you just walk up on him like that. From the stranger scenario that we started with, it's a lot more people in this world that's afraid to confront people, because on the internet you see every day somebody who's trying to be a Captain Saver and end up in a box.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Here's somebody who's been in a scenario where the person is a pathological liar. It is hurtful. Mm-hmm. And depending on what state you're in, you could become an aggressor, because then you feel disrespected. The man probably don't have real friends, and the girl probably, and like the senator said, he probably doesn't snatch her away from all hers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. That's good. Tucson, talk to me, brother. Friday coming to you next.
It's a thin line in escalating an already existing conversation, a situation.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be careful of how you get involved in other folks' business.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you see a situation, and one thing that was said, you can call the police.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you don't know people and you just out the blue get involved in their situation, you're asking for trouble.
You know what, no,
now,
Donald?
if that's your friend,
I'm gonna tell you something, Donald, and I all of my I have a few. I don't have a whole lot, but I got a few police officer friends, sheriff friends, and stuff like that. They always tell me that some of the most dangerous calls they go on are domestic violence calls.
Yeah,
they say they're the most dangerous calls
for them.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
that's statistically proven for that profession, right?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Go
It's
ahead.
dangerous for them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's dangerous for anybody that gets involved in that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a secret.
Yes.
Or here's what's said. If you tell anybody, it's gonna be worse.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Everybody really knows. Everybody knows. Her family knows, because she used to be, and not only a she, but men get abused too.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yes.
Little old Johnny married this big woman. Don't even have to be a big woman.
What are you talking about, little old Johnny, man? Hold on now. Why little old Johnny got to be the one that getting abused? I seen, and truth of the matter, and we say that in joking, but I've seen some pretty big brothers, man, that really just they just won't hit a woman, and sometimes women will take.
But she'll hit him.
Yeah, she'll hit him, absolutely, and you be like, man, big issue is, man, you let that woman. He just, whatever happened, he just won't hit women. He just won't do it.
I commend him.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he get beat down.
Mm-hmm.
And he don't defend himself, because he's trying to do what he believes to be right.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say like this, and I'm gonna be done. You ain't got nothing but one time to slap me or hit me. I'm done.
Yeah.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
The conversation is actually over.
Yeah.
You will not be at the next family reunion.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
It's a wrap. Good deal. Friday, what's on your heart? Kurt, coming to you next, brother.
My pastor hasn't really changed on it much, even during the additional input. I think that witnessing domestic violence to a degree, brushing up against it, and having firsthand experience of my friends having to deal with it. If I speak, I think I'm just more on guard or hypersensitive about it. So if I suspect another woman to be in a situation where I would try to do my best to try to get an assessment from her, just by her body language, just by if she, like I said before, if she is able to go to the bathroom. Even if he escorts her to the bathroom, he can't go in there. And so that still gives me a small window to at least determine how mentally involved she is. Because sometimes when they are in those situations, they have to put on that they still have this level of fear because they have gotten to the point where they are working on an exit plan. But they cannot let on that they have this strength because sometimes that will trigger them to heighten or increase their aggressiveness to keep that submission by fear there. And also, I think, and I still believe, it's the issue again because she cannot be lying at all, but because of what he's doing and how he feels, everything she does, and so her saying, and I'm witnessed it. Like my dad used to be like that guy who would be like, "Well, why you?" And she'd be like, "My mom would be like, no, that ain't how that went. Well, that's how I see it, so that's how it is. But that doesn't make her a liar. That makes you confused and uninformed. And because you feel like you're rightfully so, then you're going to take your opinion over what the actual reality is. So now you feel justified and fussing, cussing, or throwing things or what have it because her story or her output of information doesn't match up with what you've already convinced yourself to be the truth. And so for her own dignity and integrity, she's not going to agree to something that's not true just because that's what you want to happen. And so then now you're like, oh, you're a liar. So you could even say that she's a liar and it triggers him, but really what's being triggered is the fact that she's not accepting a lie because to accept what he says would be the lie. And so, but anyway, I digress. I would do what I can to help her, or even, put a feeler out if I really felt in my spirit that something was not right. I know my personal limitations, especially as a female. So I would then just, be like, hey, call the cops or call the non-emergency line and just be like, I think that there's an issue with the couple. And, maybe somebody can come out in uniform or in plain clothes and just assess from afar so that somebody else more certified can intervene to be happening in something.
Good deal. There's a lot of layers on this thing here, but Curtis, what's on your heart, brother? Where you at right now?
I'm gonna be in the same place, man. Like the laws are not reflective of the victim. They're really not. And to hear what Friday just said, it's brilliant, right? Because what Friday is talking about, a lot of people don't want to hear it, or most people don't even believe in it. But it's true. It's time that we have a reform as to our police departments and our laws, because just in having a reform and having somebody who is certified to analyze that situation. I don't know if you all been paying attention, but it's been a campaign running on TV of commercials of right now it's primarily focused at little girls or girls that's being
abducted for human trafficking. But I would implore that you ladies start to use that for CDV, for situations just like the one we talking about, where the lady is out, he got her out, and he got a hand problem, he beating her up. Where like in the commercials, the lady dropped, like the little girl might drop a rag or something. So she drop a rag, but in the rag it says 911. Right?
Yes.
So another lady pick it up and see it, and then snatch the little girl and hold up a phone to the predator, and then it says 911. Right? I would employ that. The lastly, I would really take a look at the law as far as, like, we all saying, look, you know, we can call the police. Okay, the police come out, they book yo, and then they let him out on his own recognizance. So now he's back on the street. The things that women have to go through, or people, period, have to go through to file a restraining order, it's almost ridiculous. It's almost ridiculous. It's almost impossible.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And now the time that it takes, when you think about the time it takes for that restraining order to go up the chain and come back down the chain to be actually official, this man could have done murdered you by then. Right? There's no. I'm glad you on the topic, and I'm gonna shut up. I'm glad you on the topic, Raheem, because I'm telling you, it is a travesty as to, if we got domestic violence situations going on. Well, I ain't gonna say if. The domestic violence situations that we have going on, they are not being addressed. And lastly, when you look at CDV, right? And you look at the numbers, pay attention to the professions that the predators or the perpetrators are in. You know where some of the highest CDV is? One, the United States military.
Military.
Two,
Yep.
two, the police and fire
Law
department.
enforcement. Yep.
So now we gotta start with. That's why I'm saying reform. You gotta start reevaluating. Well, who am I putting the badge on? Who am I allowing to hold a fire hose? Who am I allowing to go down range and fight these wars? Because if you look real closely, man, I almost got kicked out the Army behind CDV, Raheem. I almost got kicked out, bro, because I was going to beat up a E7. You know, this man right above me, Raheem, he up there beating his wife. You'd have thought she was Manny Pacquiao in front of Floyd Mayweather.
Good Lord.
I mean, he literally beating her, bro, and you can hear them. You know, we in a German apartment. I don't know if you ever been. Yeah, you've been to Germany. You know how solid they structures are built.
Yeah.
So I done pull up in the parking lot coming from formation, and I can hear him beating her up and her screaming from outside.
Wow.
So, you know, yeah, I really think what Roddy said really has a lot to do with reforming the way we carrying about and we dealing with this thing. And if we can do that, it's not defund, it's reform. Like, come on, something got to give, bro.
Exactly. We got another caller. Let me go to the caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Rico, calling from Madison, Alabama. Grand Rising, everybody.
Good morning, Rico. How you doing this morning?
I can't complain.
Man, what's on your heart about this scenario? Have you been listening this morning?
I'll caught the end of it, man. Give me a little taste of it, because I think I sort of got an idea of what you're talking about, but I'm not too sure.
Okay, you're in a restaurant, lunchtime. You go in the restaurant, have quiet little meal and everything while you on your little lunch break, and you notice there's a couple in there, man, and they arguing, they fussing, they going at it, man, arguing back and forth, and you get up, you can't enjoy your meal, man, because there's too much mess going on. And so what you do, Rico, you get up, you go over to say, hey, brother, you
I can't hear you. Okay, there you go.
Okay, you get up and from your table, you walk over to where they are, man, and you say, you address him, hey brother, you know what's going on, everything okay? And then he say, man, listen, man, she just keep lying, man. She lie all the time. She's always in her face. He said, man, I lost my control. She's always lying, man. I lost myself, man, and that's what happened. Rico, what is your conversation at that point?
First off, I hope I'm friends with that dude.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause 9 times out of that 10, that dude ain't gonna answer me like I'm the authority.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, the only way I could figure a man would bow down like that after showing his butt in public and not caring or feeling like he had the right to do so. The only way I could feel that he would show me some respect like that if I walked over there and I was 6'5" and about 280 and he was about 5'8".
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what's going on? She lied too much, man.
Mm-hmm.
No, most times a man gonna be like, mind your business, boy.
Mm-hmm.
None of your business what you did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what they gonna tell you.
Boy,
They hot.
On Rico with real talk.
Mm-hmm.
They hot, man. They ain't trying to sit back and explain nothing to you, and they already done felt like it was cool for them in public to show their whole butt like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't approach them. You know what I'm saying? If I would approach them, I'm gonna put it to you this way. If I would approach somebody, I would approach them knowing that I might have to kill them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're ready to kill somebody, if they go to that extreme, or because the thing is, what's the use of getting involved when he punk you down too?
Mm-hmm.
When he take you to a point where you want to get involved? Do you think you want to get involved with this? How far do you want to go? Now you fighting. Now you fighting for your life. Joker might be big as Cam Newton, got strong enough to hit you one time and kill you before you hit the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you got to be prepared. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I ain't saying be a coward, but be prepared to defend yourself to the fullest extent when a person is carrying on like that, because that's a lot of violence and aggression, and it's a lot of disrespect, and none care about who's around.
Mm-hmm.
Most times, if somebody doing something like that in public, they don't care who around anyway. They hope somebody get involved so they could get some too.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
That's a very bold move for a man to pull a Ike Turner in public in front of everybody and think everybody gonna be cool with it. But this is my wife. I do what I want to do. Well, if he feel that bold and adamant about it, you better have something to stop this man cold in his track, because he might feel like you in his business and you disrespecting him. Some chauvinistic men feel like they gonna handle you for getting in their business.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, yeah, if I was to walk up on a man like that, the conversation ain't gonna be nothing like you said, because I already know it's gonna be a problem. And I'm going in looking for the problem if he want it. If I feel like it's a situation where I need to save or rescue this woman, well, 9 times out of 10 I would. If I know I got something to stop this man because he might want to get a little crazy, I'm already prepared to do whatever it takes, as long as I keep her from doing this woman like this. Because like Kurt said, you can call the police, and by the time the police get there, she might be already took about another 25 minutes worth of whooping.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Where everybody sitting out watching, because he big, you know what I mean? So, you know, and he might be the 6'5" man whooping on, and you 5'8".
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got to have something to help me.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Cassandra, what's on your heart, Cassandra? Cassandra, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Ryan.
Oh no, I'm trying to get Cassandra. Cassandra, you there?
Oh, all right.
Cassandra has having some issues with the phone line there. Cassandra, chime in when you get your line straight. Leonard, talk to me, brother.
I think Rico gave the most realistic explanation of that situation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to listen to you, and you don't have to be in my business.
Mm-hmm.
When somebody calls me because of something going on, they know the police is coming.
Mm-hmm.
So this notion that you can correct grown people, that's a killer. He waiting to kill somebody anyway. So you don't walk up over here. Now she can, because what you never said that woman asked you for any type of help at all.
She didn't.
So what that look like to you? Can I just come over to your table and hassle you and your wife, Raheem?
No, ain't gonna happen.
I know I can't.
Mm-hmm.
So why would you go over there and do that to them? Last time I intervened in a situation, one, we managed to, we beat the hell out of him. drug him up out, told him get in his car because if he didn't, he was gonna get killed. Gwinnett, the neighbors called Gwinnett County, rolled up 8 deep. Well, what's going on? What's going on? We good. We good.
What's going on is y'all late.
They going on about their business, but they could have turned out way different. So this notion that this scenario that you mentioned, first of all, that woman didn't ask you for no help. You said, he said, you didn't see her get hit. So all these assumptions you making, what you gonna do?
But and that's absolutely true. And that's absolutely true. You know, she truth of the matter, in the scenario that I posed, she didn't say a word. She didn't say a word.
Just call the police. What you should have did. Matter of fact, the management of the restaurant should have already called the authorities.
Exactly. Cassandra, you back with us?
Let me say something right quick.
Yeah.
You know,
okay.
I was gonna say this real quick. You know, you really putting yourself in a situation where you're doing a police's job. You're doing a policeman's job. You're police. And she may need that. She may need that rescuing. And you might be the one that's there to protect and serve her, because everybody else just sitting back watching the abuse. But the thing is, you got to understand, if you're going to do the job of the police and you're going to be that protect and serve, you better be ready to protect and serve to the same extent the police may have to. Because some of these people are turning against the police and the police got to kill them. So that's why I said, if I know I'm going to stick my nose in it, I'm sticking my nose in it, knowing and letting him know that if he want to take it further, this is why I'm willing to take it, because you're not listening to do this in front of me. So you got to be prepared, not to go in there with a conversation, but to go in there ready to be the one that's going to have to stop this dude by any means necessary, if it warrants you preventing what he was doing and getting involved.
That's good.
You got to be the one that got the mindset of a cop.
You got to walk in ready.
And this is also, Raheem, the reason why I used to tell people I wouldn't deal with a woman with a child or with children. Because a lot of times in these cases, it's usually someone she may have a child with or something like that, and there's a lot of friction, and there's going to be nothing but problems and altercation.
Good. Let me go to Cassandra. Cassandra, what's on your heart, sis?
Yeah. I don't know. I've just seen so many scenarios over my almost 40 years of working with women in domestic. I'm talking stuff that will make your hair curl up, and everything sounds simple and easy, and you know, this is what you do and that's what you do. That ain't the real world. That ain't the world of domestic violence. Let me put it like that. That world I know very well, personally and from working with people. We just gotta. We try to make things so simplistic when they're not. You're talking about someone controlling somebody's life to the point that some of them so scared they don't even go to the bathroom without looking at him and making sure he gives the okay. We're not. This stuff is serious. This stuff is serious. I remember when, and I think I've told this story before, real quickly. The young lady that her boyfriend was pimping her out and was traveling her around and human trafficking around the country. He would move her from spot to spot. And she was in Florida and she decided she wanted to run. She called me. I mean, she don't know where she in some little town. She hitchhiked to some little town away from where they were down in Miami and called me from some little town. She didn't even know where she was. Like, Miss Cassandra, I got to get away from him. I can't do this anymore. Blah, 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 blah. So I had to arrange, while this child was out there, afraid this boy might pull up or something on her anytime, how to get her out of Florida and to New York, where her family was, not even back to Georgia, because he assumed she would be coming back to Georgia. Listen, y'all, man, the thing ain't as simple and cut dry as you try to make it. It's fair. People are afraid for their lives.
Yes.
And that's men and women, because I've seen men going through the same thing.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
And see that, and that's the real side of it as well, man. There's a lot going on. Friday, what's on your heart, sis? There's a lot going on. There's a lot of layers on this thing here.
It is definitely a lot of layers. I think in a public situation, a woman has a better opportunity to try to get information from another woman, because those windows are going to be very small and few. So getting help, or even if it pans out to be nothing, we would have to overcome our own fears in order to initiate some type of help.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's like, if the manager doesn't feel like it's worth doing anything because of what maybe they're thinking about their money, whatever, I don't know, there's a waitress or somebody there that can maybe write a note on the back of their notepad and position themselves in a way where she can read it and he can't, and they can come ask if they need more water at the table, and then the woman can read the note, nod or gesture, rub her nose, something. I don't know. You have to get creative, but I think that in those public situations, another woman has the upper hand. Be more subtle about the approach or about finding out. And then, if there's information out there where certified persons that work along with the police are available, then I think all these public places need to have it so it can be utilized in these situations. I've seen where some women, my friend, where she went into Walmart and knocked everything off the aisle and made a scene so that she would get arrested.
Mm-hmm.
Because her getting arrested was her way of getting away from him. But,
Wow.
it's different stuff like that, but it didn't pan out for her. By the time the right kind of help got to her, he had already done her off. But it's just to really, once they go to public, or once they exhibit a sign of public, in public that there's a problem, especially if he feels so bold to say, yeah, she pissed me off and this is a get for it type of deal. Definitely at that point, if you get that information, even if you overhear him saying, you caused me to do this, somebody need to be calling somebody.
Exactly.
They should not leave that restaurant without some type of higher authority intervention.
That's good. That's good. Let me go right now. Let me go. Hadn't spoken to a VP in a minute. VP, what's on your heart, brother?
I like to play the adversary advocate. Sometimes I agree with it. It's almost like we beat down how to handle a woman that's getting hit, but you can't ignore that. Be it if you try to be a savior, and just like we see today, if you call the police, you're afraid to call the police. The police come in and shoot the wrong person nowadays. You don't want to just run up on a stranger's table because you make yourself a target. If like Rico said, if he's bold enough to jump out in public like that, he's gonna jump on you. But also, I want to put in the play. You never want to. I've been on the side of domestic violence. I see my mom get beat down. Because Sandra's right. The scenario don't usually work like this, where this woman, you just cut and dry. A woman will take abuse for years, but I also want to say a man will take abuse for years too. And I know when y'all started talking about the military and the police, now this scenario works with that, where people go on deployments and they come home and the woman's lying and the emotions is high and mistakes are made. Now, what I think somebody's saying they were in Germany and somebody's getting beat down. I've seen that multiple times as well, where the military has an easier chance of locking somebody up than you do in the civilian world. this scenario is a little strange because the part that hit me on the head is the constant lying part. I know we want to stick on the man and the abuse that came to that, but what if he's not lying about it? What if we change the scenario and you know the guy and he's not a stranger?
Mm-hmm.
And now and just as you said before, you walked in the restaurant, which we didn't go to the restaurant with them. They were in the restaurant, and you see your friends and this one girl with a bruise, and he's yelling out tired of the line, and you know that he's tired of the lying. And what do you do during that scenario?
Mm-hmm.
Because from my mind and playing it, you walked up, if you're yelling at that, I'm tired of these lines. You walked up on them, and you know them, as Rico would say. Now I know you.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on?
But see,
I know.
My thing is this right here.
I've been in that.
But my thing is this. My thing is this right here, VP. Even though she is, and a couple of people has voiced this, even if she's lying and she's constantly lying, and you're tired of the lie, you're tired of hearing this person lie to you, especially somebody that's supposed to mean something to you. I think it's time for you to just get away from her, man. Just y'all, we can't coexist because you have an issue with telling the truth, and I have to be able to trust you. And if I can't trust anything that you say to me, it's gonna be real hard for me to stay here with you. And I think that he should, count his losses and just walk away. Mm-hmm.
Maybe that lunch is the breakup dinner.
Yeah.
Say it again.
Maybe. No, she's saying maybe that lunch was the breakup.
Yeah. Maybe
that was his way of saying, you know what, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
But after what if, it's so many what ifs because you don't want to make it to where it's okay to hit. But what if she hit him, and because she got caught and she got aggressive, and that's all she knew is how to be aggressive, and he gave it to her because she folded up. Mm-hmm. There's so many different scenarios, especially when you know somebody.
I think even if that's the case, if he has an upper hand on her, and it ain't nothing she could do no more, even though he was in the wrong and he was retaliating or protecting himself, but now all of a sudden he has the upper hand and he done lost his cool.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody still got to step in.
Yeah.
I mean, you just can't sit back and watch somebody get demolished.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. The same mindset it would take to step in and save this person if that situation was that bad, to the point to where, okay, he whipping up pretty good, man, and he don't care if he hurt or not. The police ain't gonna get here in time. I got to do something, and I got something to protect me in case he does it. If the situation gets that bad, you know what that equates to? It takes the same amount of bravery as it would have when people were out there watching George Floyd get killed.
Mm-hmm.
It would have took the same amount of bravery to stop watching when Eric Garner was being choked and he said he couldn't breathe. Mm-hmm. And people then step in. So, when we really look at it, man, that takes a heroic act, not only a heroic act, but you got to be a caring person. You got to be very caring about life to make sure that nobody is killed in front of you, regardless of who was wrong or right. Now, don't get me wrong. If you catch somebody in the act of doing something wrong like that and you happen to kill them in the process, that's what happens. You catch them raping a woman or raping a child or something. But in that type of situation, man, even if she was wrong and if she was lying, you have to step in because that ain't enough reason to beat on somebody like that. Mm-hmm. But then I would look to go deeper than that because this is one thing we have to understand. Like we could talk about the scenario and what we would do, but my question is what would make a person stick with a woman that compulsively lies, or make a woman stick with a man that compulsively lies? And then on the other end, what would make a woman stay with a man or a man stay with a woman that kicks their butt? Mm-hmm. And when you start asking those questions, you see it's because they unconsciously are dependent on each other. Mm-hmm. He needs her to validate him somewhere, and she needs him to validate her somewhere. And they don't want to let each other go because they value those other things more. So they'd rather cheat on each other, lie on each other, and beat each other up instead of leaving. See, we could ask that question: why don't they leave? Well, that happens all the time. Why didn't Nicole Simpson leave before she had already left, but so many other people that don't leave, and you ask the question why? It's because that woman might value the things that man can provide more. Maybe she's docile. Maybe he's brainwashed her. Maybe he's made her believe that he's so bad and crazy that not only will he kill her, but he'll kill her dad and her mama and her brothers. Ain't nobody bad as him, and she might believe because he might be just that thorough. He might have a history of gang banging and shooting, and he never got in trouble for it. He got away with it. So she know his history. That's what made her like him in the first place. He was a bad boy. She done made a bad decision now.
Exactly. Let me go to Donald Tucson. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother? Tucson, wake up and go to sleep. Tucson, where you at? Leonard, talk to me, brother.
I'm just I'm really absorbing the conversation from these points of views, but I'm more of a solutions oriented type of individual. And we both being on this show, I'm not gonna sit and hold your hand through no BS. I'm not doing it. You're gonna get right. You got a responsibility for your own life. My mother used to tell me, a woman that is in a domestic violence situation like that, you have to ask yourself, why is she over there? Why is she with him? This didn't happen overnight. Even with younger, this is why I never wanted a daughter. Because I know I kill your son for putting his hands on my daughter. Because, and also, teaching women to take responsibility this way is very important. That's the paradigm shift that needs to happen. You can continue to make excuses for it, blame everybody else for it, and never resolve this issue.
Exactly. That's true.
So continue to do it that way. You continue to have the problem. Choose the righteous way, and you stop the problem.
Good deal. Got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
I don't know, y'all. That might be me, Toy with the T.
There you go.
Morning, family.
Toy with a T. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
I'm good. How you doing?
Hey, doing good. You've been listening to the.
Hello, my wonderful, handsome, smart kings and queens.
Absolutely. Hey, good morning to you as well. Good morning to you. Have you been listening to the broadcast this morning? I need to catch you up to speed.
No, sir, I have not.
Okay, let me tell you what we got going on here. We got a scenario, and I need to hear your heart in this scenario. Toya, you on your lunch break. You go somewhere. You go somewhere to have your lunch, and when you get there.
Right here, Toya gonna kill him and pray by the bathroom. So I'm just gonna.
Let's hear Toya.
You'll be praying when the police pull up. You're gonna be on that knees praying. Excuse me, I had to do it.
Stop it, Leonard.
No, that's Kurt.
Stop.
Yeah,
that's Kurt. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, that's Kurt.
Let's say I'm only gonna strike. Lord, say strike. But no, okay. What's the scenario? This must be juicy.
You at the little diner, want to have your lunch. Go out to dinner while you're on your lunch break, and you notice there's a couple of tables over, and they arguing, they fussing, they going at it, and it's to the point to where you can't even enjoy your meal. There's so much mess going on. So you get up and you walk over to the table. You say, "Oh, what's going on?" And he say to you, he said, "Man, he say to you, she's constantly lying. She's constantly lying. She lie all the time. I get tired of all this doggone lying. She lie about everything. She's always lying." And you look at her and you realize there's some bumps and bruises and all kind of stuff on her. There's a bumps and bruises on her, and there's a couple of blemishes on her face. And you look at him and say, "Well, what happened to her face?" He said, "Man, I lost my control, man. You know, all this lying she's doing, I lost myself, man, and I did it because she's always lying. She's lying all the time." Toya, what's your conversation at that point?
I've got to make a trip right now to fight a man that likes to fight women. I like them like that. Oh, so you did that? Oh, well, look, I like to fight men. Let's go. No, unexcusable, unacceptable. There are some crimes of passion. I get it. You walk in on them cheating, sleeping with somebody in your bed. You know what I'm saying? And you lose it. Because they're lying, you don't have to write. I'm finna tap you on your job. Just like if you was somebody's wife and I know you married and you sitting down with another woman, I'm going to tap you in your jaw for your wife. Now go home and tell your wife how you got that. So I'm going to go ahead and blacken his eye while he's sitting there. You said a diner? Ooh, it's all kind of stuff I can use in a diner. We got fry baskets and glasses and plates and cups and food and yeah, I'm finna tap his jaw real quick and call the police before I do it. Officer, I'm finna get the this documentary, aggravated assault, and I'm gonna tap
I told you.
Yeah, he got me picked on that one. He got me on that one. When it comes to men that like to fight women, put their hands on women. Oh yeah, I like that type.
Wow, Kurt, go ahead, brother. What's on your heart?
No, when you asked Toya, I knew. I mean, see, one of the things that we oftentimes don't do, which is why I'm a strong proponent for the reform aspect of certain laws and the way we deal with them, is, we all family. So we pretty much have a very basic idea as to Toya's history, right? And with everything that baby girl done went through, and then to take that trip, that home, that trip to that home away from home, right? And to see the abuse and the integration, to see the levels of abuse, exploitation, denigration, you name it, on that level. In her case, that would be an expectation. If it was me and her and we was walking in the restaurant and boom, boom, and I saw that, my first instinct would probably be, man, let me grab T and get up out of here before she be done, both of us be done, went to jail. Because
you're right.
I know that's a trigger for her. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, like, man, it's crazy because here's in addition to the scenario, and I'm, by all means, I do not excuse this type of behavior at all. You know what I mean? I watched my mama go through it. But I've seen and had sessions and/or set in on sessions where the female realistically didn't even know, because she was in tune with what she was in tune with, that she had been psychologically and emotionally abusing this man for years. And he snapped. And once he snapped, he never came back. So what happened was, you got two people. The female is dealing with her issues through, talking down to the man, making him feel like he less than a man, this, that, and the third. So the man's defense mechanism to that is, I'm going to smack you in the mouth. You ain't going to shut up about it? I'm going to smack you in the mouth. That'll shut you up. And when you see that dichotomy happen, bro, it is, you have to be on your square, because if you're not, as a therapist or as a counselor, you would get caught up in picking a side. And they will basically create a triangulation where now you become the target of their abuse.
Wow.
So, like, I've seen it on both sides. I've seen a dude, man, like, right, one time out to the family session, and the female kept telling this dude, you ain't, and she didn't know that this dude knew what she had been doing on the side. He never said nothing to her. And man, dude, before I knew it, dude done knocked every file, everything off the table. He about coming over the table, and guess what's coming out of his mouth? I guess you'd rather be with, he said the dude's name, because I stood in the door and I watched you.
Wow.
Yeah, y'all been doing it for years. I'm gonna kill you for all the years. I'm like, oh Lord.
Wow.
I don't mean to laugh, but if you would have saw the look in her face when what he was saying, I knew he wasn't lying. Because you just saw the look on her face. It was fear. It was, I'm caught. Oh my God. I'm sorry.
Okay. Gotta keep it moving, Kurt. Let me
Keep it going, man. I'm laughing because you know what I mean. Like it was. You wouldn't have thought he was going to do that.
Good deal. Hold on. Hold on.
But,
Let me go to Cassandra. Cassandra, what's on your heart right now?
You know, and I try to say this all the time. There are toxic men and there are toxic women.
Yes.
So whichever way the abuse is coming, it's wrong, and I'm against it. I don't care if it's a woman, because I've dealt with several women over the years that were abusive toward men. And a lot of times men don't say anything because it's a pride issue. Mm-hmm. Who wants to tell somebody if it's a physical abuse? Because sometimes it's emotional. But if it's a physical abuse, what man wants to tell, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. People that, hey, my wife, my girlfriend beating me. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it goes both ways, and I'm against abuse of any form. I don't care who it's coming from. I don't care. If you're doing it, then you're behind, need to go to jail. If you're female, whoever is doing it, go to jail.
Exactly. Well, we're about to transition over. It's 9:00, 9:04. Actually, we're going to transition over to our topic for today. And when this topic came to me, you know, y'all know I make out the list on Sundays, and I put it out there on Sundays. Well, I make it, you know, and circulate it at that time for the whole week. And when this topic came up and when I put it out there, I didn't know where it was going to go or what direction we was going to go with this particular topic. But then Cassandra said something a couple of days ago that I was like, wow, there it is right there. There it is. With everything that's going on, with all the hatred, with hate, racism, the COVID, and all the different things that's going on in America right now. My question, Cassandra, is this, because you said something that was that led me here about it not in the last days, it not mentioning America at all. My question is, can America survive? Can America survive? That's my question.
Well, let's just put it like this. It'll survive, but it won't be the superpower. Mm-hmm. And anybody that knows anything about end time revelation, and anybody that is up on the prophetic word of God, you know from reading that the United States is not mentioned in the end time as a superpower or that will be warring with a lot of the other countries. Mm-hmm. You have Russia, Persia, Asia, Israel, and I think maybe two more. But United States is not among that group. So we are going to take a fall because I believe because of all of the stuff, God has been good to this country, but this country has not been good to God. Mm-hmm. It has hurt people within its own borders. It has used injustice, inequality, and there is no justification for it because this country has been blessed, but they refuse to bless even the least of those in this country. So for that reason, we will not be a superpower in the end.
Wow.
Scripturally.
Mm-hmm. VP, what's on your heart, brother? Can America survive?
Oh no, we're starting to see the decline of America already.
Yep.
This is historical. There'll never be a nation. This is God. I mean, God created this earth, gave it over to Satan for his rule, which we know is all going to end. There will never be a kingdom that survives long enough to the end time. We already see the incline of China. Mm-hmm. So we're starting to see a new great nation become what it is. And because Americans are so ignorant to their own egos.
Yeah, exactly.
We're arguing about math. Mm-hmm. Out of all the nations in the world, we're the only one that's arguing about math. That's showing that 600,000 people are dying from talking to each other. And we can't stop long enough to stop arguing with each other about math, about whose kids should go to what school, what if black and white is still a thing, which president is stupid and which one is smart. We can't focus on the little things to make sure that we stay a great nation. While the other people around us are starting to see, you know what, this place is really divided. and the only thing that's protected in America is these oceans.
Mm-hmm.
And once these people get smart enough to cross these oceans, America's in trouble. If we don't destroy each other on a civil war now, with the way they started to get on these linear gun laws, people are going to start. Well, the people that used to arm themselves and listen to these dumb talk show radio shows that's gassing them up are going to get bolder and bolder. We've seen it during the Trump era, but they got shut down with Biden coming in. But if we don't do right in 4 more years, it'll be back again.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Beware the 7 years of peace.
Mm-hmm.
Beware the 7 years of peace.
Wow. Good deal. Rico, can America survive?
No, it eventually it has to crash. Evil can't survive because evil will turn on itself sooner or later.
Mm-hmm.
Greed, you're overconsumed. You know, it'll get to a point where you run a good thing to the ground. You know, like some people say they like to ride it till the wheels fall off.
Yes, sir.
Well, for some reason, the cabal, or whoever the people are behind the creation of the United States and America and that keeps it surviving, the ones that run the CIA, they believe they want to ride it till the wheels fall off. They want to drain this whole planet of its resources.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care nothing about the fossil fuels. They don't care nothing about climate change. They only worry about their profits, their bottom line, the money, and the economy.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where we won't even use logic, like the brother just said. The best effect we had against the coronavirus was the shutdown. Now the last thing they want to do is save lives or do what's most effective because they don't want to stop the economy. Mm-hmm. They don't want to stop this paper. So, you know, when you start looking at what people value, you can't survive with a value system like that because the thing that you need to survive, which is life, you don't care nothing about it. Mm-hmm. You care about the dollar that could buy you the things that distracts you and makes you happy and comfortable in life. It entertains you, these luxuries. All these things that we want, some of the things that we do or we get, they're not things we need. Mm-hmm. They're not things we need to survive. But they make us think that we need to get all this money to live our best life. And that's the reason why they ain't going to shut nothing down. Everything needs to keep circulating. So, you know, when people don't do what's best for life, I like what Leonard said the other day when he said something about to do no harm. Mm-hmm. I hope he repeat that what he said the other day, because really and truly, that should be the basis behind every law, every thought process. Screw about who had given people the rights to do this and that. Make sure you give people rights to be protected. Make sure that everything you create, these laws don't do any harm. I think, you know, when you think about it from that point of view, then you will look out for the most vulnerable people. But that is not a country we live in. So with this country being about a dog eat dog, roll till the wheels fall off, to the victors goes the spoils. Mm-hmm. When somebody's down, put your foot on them, keep them down. That type of mentality, no, not on this planet. We don't even really have a clue of what humanity is when you think like that.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's good. That's good. Toya with the T, what do you say to that, man? Can America survive?
Oh man, I don't know. I'm gonna come back after what Rico just said, but you know, I don't think so. I didn't think that it should have survived this long with the atrocities that is committed against Black people. But I'm just feeling like maybe this is their promised land, because when you look over at these other countries, we got it made while we over here tripping compared to other countries. You know, but however, I don't think it's about America. It's about humanity. Because the same thing America suffer from is the same thing that humanity suffer from. Mm-hmm. So we're going to destroy ourselves again, just like the flood. This not about us making it. God's going to take us out. Everybody. Mm-hmm. Anybody who act like they don't want to straighten up and do what thus saith the Lord, because we already know how this ends in Revelation. We act like we don't know why Corona here. Keep on acting. So we don't have to destroy ourselves. God don't need no help wiping us out. But if we're going to stand a chance, it's going to take for us to stand up and believe, to stand up against evil. I'm not saying let a whole tribe of people come chop your head off. I'm saying if you know that it's a tribe of people running around chopping folks' head off, and you're not for that, you need to be getting to chopping their head off first. Mm-hmm. I mean, we are left here to have dominion. And if we only allow the people that are wicked to run this place, it's like we had a conversation yesterday about the choir. We can't get mad at the demons for taking over if God's saints won't stand up. if God's saints won't build a boat, if God's saints won't do what thus saith the Lord, and the demons take over, then we're going to go down with whatever path it is and be caught up in the mix. So, it's about humanity. Humanity will not make it if we don't change the error of our ways. If we don't start to face some of these nasty, filthy rag spirits that we have and get things in perspective and moving and live the way humanity should be living, and that means lights. We don't need these lights. We all sucking the earth dry. We sitting there talking about them. What about us? Every luxury that we are comfortable with is sucking this world dry. You think we care? No, we don't care because we're still using AC, and we not there trying to go without AC and TV and all that stuff there. So when we looking at other people thinking that they run the world, we need to understand that we all run this world in our very little space as a little cog wheel, and we all need to get up and do something quick, or we all gonna be in trouble.
Good deal. Good deal. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. Can America survive?
America will survive. America been surviving. America ain't been here that long. It just hasn't. They haven't been. They have. I mean, look at democracy. Actually, what is this? Almost 300 years, maybe. America will be fine. I mean, it might not go along with all that propaganda y'all believe in, but it don't take much to be great when you're talking on certain levels. What you think they're gonna do with all the nuclear warheads? Well, I mean, we're the only nation who has proved we have no problem with killing everyone in your country.
So what you're saying is that what make them great? Is that what make them great?
Propaganda.
Leonard, can you hear me?
So godly and so much better.
Leonard, so Leonard, can you hear me? Is that one of the things that quote unquote make America great because of the fact they have the super weaponry and all these different things where they can go out there and just take somebody out? Is that what make them great?
Yes, and our need for consumption and consuming cheap goods produced at cheaper prices. There are several economies pegged to the dollar.
Don't we get most of our stuff from China?
Still here. All these other countries still here.
Don't we get most of our stuff? Don't we get most of our stuff from China?
Exactly. Your need for consumption is what propels the rest of the world. There are only 2 or 3 people that really disagree with America.
Wow.
And that's what? Russia, Japan. No, Japan is pretty much on board. China is pretty much on board. We still have issues with Korea. But people don't want to kill us. They just want us to open our markets and buy their goods. There's never been a problem with a lack of food. That sound like economics. Food from getting to people who need it.
That sound like it boils back to economics. Let me so that's one of the things. That's one of the issues. Curtis, what's on your heart, brother? Can America survive? Curtis?
Yeah, you had to hit the mute button. The America that we know of will not survive.
Why not?
You asked a question because I just seen they did a little caption this morning on a Today Show that says that the demographics of what used to be predominantly Caucasian American areas in the Royal South and Southwest, Northwest, the demographics are drastically changing. For the first time in the history of America, those areas are not demographically populated Caucasian American areas. Whereas over the years, if you go to, for example, Twins Falls, Idaho, that used to be predominantly a Caucasian American area. It's not anymore. They mentioned, I can't remember exactly what area, what city they mentioned, because they had a city mentioned in there, but they're saying that the demographics is almost a 50-50. And in most cases, it's actually a 51-49. in favor of those who are considered black and brown, right? And or other. So I truly believe that America will be fine. I believe that we have people here like Cassandra, like Toya, like yourself, and everybody on this panel who are believers. And I believe that in God's eye, I really believe that's the only reason you all should pat yourselves on the back. Because I really believe that had there not been believers here like you,
amen,
God would have destroyed this place a long time ago.
Amen.
The only reason America is still in existence is because of its black and brown community. And when you go to the desert right here, you'll hear it. I've had Iraqi soldiers say, look, man, real talk, the only reason when we had that conversation, you know, that uncomfortable conversation, I've had them tell me, hey, man, real talk, what you doing here, black man? If you're not here to celebrate and live, what you doing here? Because truth be told, the only reason America is still America is because y'all there.
Wow.
We blew it up a long time ago. So, I mean, I believe that America will exist in the form that it has existed in? No. I know in Revelations, I'll end with this because I don't take a lot of time. I know in Revelations, if you read it carefully, in the end, it says that the world that we know will no longer exist. The world that we know will no longer exist. So I think God's going to straighten some things out, but it does tie into what Leonard, a lot of it ties into what Leonard says. It's all economics. And now, you know, I'll leave you with capitalism without a conscience is corruption. The people not going to be corrupted. At best, you might get them for 300 years.
Good
After
deal.
that, the people will respond.
Good deal. Gotta keep it moving. Gotta keep it moving, Kurt. Exactly. Let me go to Friday. Friday, what's on your heart? Can America survive? Friday?
Yes. America, can you hear me?
Yes.
America can survive. Americans cannot.
Okay.
America will still be here. America, let's get the name change, will still be America. But the Americans that are within America, sadly, will not survive.
Wow.
Some races will be more affected than others because they don't know what it's like to have to survive with little. So it's going to hit them the hardest. And for us that know how to make do with a little, we're going to be all right.
Grandma sure taught us that. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
I'm so glad that Friday said that because she is right. America, this land, it'll be here way past when all of us are gone. But Americans, we are on the decline. And I'm not trying to tell anybody anything that they cannot go to the Word of God for themselves and see. You read for yourself and see that America, I don't care how much economy, whatever trading they're doing, they are not listed as a superpower or engaged in the war at the end of time. They are not. They are not listed. Look for them. But the names that we know for sure that are there are the ones that are on the increase now in this time. So, you know, I'll leave that right there.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Toya, you want to talk to me, sis?
Oh man, I agree. The land gonna be here. We're gonna be gone. But I will say, you know, the same way they had the Roman ages and the Dark Ages, every age has its time limit. Every civilization that's come across has its time limit. It's normally about 250 to 260 years. So we're expecting something to shake from America. It should be shaking right around now. But history tells us, history leads us to believe that things change. You know, our ancestors 40 years ago, that was a different era. But we also come from ancestors 400 years ago. That was a different era. You know what I'm saying? That was a different world for them. I know some of our ancestors was to look through a magnifying glass to see these thingamabobs and doohickeys, as they call it. It was a different world for them. And I believe that's where we're going. I was just looking up something, and they call it, you know, the different ages, the Mesopotamian, Dark Ages, and I think we're living in the Megathelian, or whatever, however you pronounce it. I just scammed at it real quick because I'm talking to y'all. And they say we're the era that we get our energy from dead animals and the plant. And they've added two other, like halogenic and then something else to try to describe us. But we're like the Megathelian that came after the flood, 4,200 years after the flood, which lets us know by science, by just experience, ages do change. And so does the way we live. You understand? This is a technology age. We couldn't call this that in the 70s. You know, so absolutely, just from our history, I do anticipate a totally new change. However, if we going according to Revelation, are we ready for them to come and destroy everything over here because we're not doing what thus saith the Lord? Because that's how kingdoms in the Bible get turned over. The Lord will be telling the king, hey, don't do that, and they do it anyway. Saying, all right, man, we got to put somebody else on top, and then next thing you know, we're buried up under dirt. So, and I believe that's where we're going again as humanity. I believe there's going to be a great war, and it's going to be good against evil. Finally, we're going to be fighting right where we are in our own houses and homes, and we're going to have to rebuild right where we are in our houses and our homes. And can we deal with that? Can we even fathom that? I think that the American culture has got us so complacent and dependent that if that was to happen, it was mass hysteria everywhere because you can't grow your own food and eat it because the grocery stores are closed.
Exactly.
Mass hysteria with no food. You understand what I'm saying? So I do believe that there is a great awakening, a great coming, a great war, and it is going to change. I just hope that everybody's going to have the faith and the strength to fight through it.
There you go. Good deal. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother? What do you say to this?
Like I said, it depends on how you determine to look at it. This end time could be 1,000, 2,000 years from now. I mean, just because somebody put a timetable up don't make it true, and things can happen because God can will what God wants to will. The Revelation is a very coded book. So, you know, I wouldn't take it as literal as some people take it. But the world has been around for quite some time. Civilizations have come and gone. We are by far the most intelligent. However, no one now has the moral high ground. No one country can say that they're doing anything for righteousness' sake. So, you know, we have lots of issues going on. You know, you let some people tell us there's people starving to death here in America now, and all these things have already occurred. You know, I'm pretty sure people thought the same thing during the Great Depression. We haven't even seen the Great Depression, my generation. So, you know, in this little episode we had here a couple years ago was due to a pandemic called COVID. It had nothing to do with our economy really breaking down. It was just COVID. So we are survivors by nature.
Now Leonard, wasn't it said that before Obama came into office that we was in somewhat of a Great Depression, somewhat to some degree, and he restructured everything? And
they came short of calling it a Great Depression. It was an economic downfall or something of that case. But then again, that was propped up as well. So the things that you probably know and are used to and are being fed is really not the absolute truth. Okay.
It's never as it appears. Basically, it's never as it appears. Basically, it's never as it appears.
Yes, I think one thing that was important that Obama did was he got people to start thinking more of themselves globally as opposed to just Americans.
Okay, got you. Rico, what's on your heart, brother? Can America survive? What do you say to that?
You know, I was thinking of according to prophecy and righteousness and religion based on Jesus and God coming back and straightening out all this evil and corruption. You know, America got to go down. Any Christian that reads the Bible, and I'm like you, I'm on the outside looking in. But for what I understand God and Jesus to be about, America in trouble. So now, I think America can't survive based off prophecy or based off righteousness. But now you have people. I mentioned the cabal earlier. See, the reason why I said that because Cassandra's mentioned prophecy at first, and I agree with what she said. According to prophecy, it really shouldn't exist in the end. But you got the cabal that I mentioned. Guess what? Those people want to change prophecy, but the general public doesn't know. The cabal and others with extreme power, they might not believe in prophecy. They might want us to believe that prophecy isn't true, but according to prophecy, if it is true, guess what they want to do? They want to make sure it changes. So now here it is. We got this dollar that we were to say, well, you know what? We fixing to wake up. We're going to create Bitcoin and create more imaginary value to take away from that dollar. Then you got other people in other countries saying, you know what, man, we tired of dealing in this imaginary dollar. Let's go back to the gold dinar. So what happened is, little by little, as America still tries to keep its range for that dollar, it's going to survive because they got guns and bombs. And they are barbaric, they savage. They don't care where they will go to drop these bombs and guns. And if that ain't good enough, they got other little secret little weapons, you know what I'm saying, that the CIA uses, the Central Intelligence Agency uses around the world that will go and knock people off that's promoting the agenda or the momentum against this dollar. Because America definitely needs this imaginary dollar to seem like it really has some illustrious power to survive.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the minute people start realizing it doesn't and they're ready to get away from it, we gonna drop. We might even create a 9/11, just a good distraction for everybody to, you know, get away from it and start favoring us. You know, we feel sorry for America. America had the worst tragedy in history, and it was on live TV, and now they got the right to go and bomb everybody else that wanted to get away from their dollar.
Wow.
So I mean, you know, America can't survive like that because when people start waking up, they start creating opposition. And then they start infiltrating and sabotaging the system that's really abusing everybody, operating in cloak and dagger routines. So I don't think this can survive because you're getting to a point now where human beings are realizing that this system is not for human beings.
Exactly.
Question, Raheem.
Yes, sir.
Everyone on the call, you know, and you can answer it. Why do you all believe that America is so much more wicked than every place else?
Anybody want to address that? VP?
Man,
I've stayed in other countries for multiple years, and although there's racism and there's hate and there's corruption in every nation, America is on a deep-seated different mix because the nation's so big compared to all the other small ones where their conflicts come and go real fast. Ours seem to linger because we have the separation and the free independent thinking to do anything we want. So just like the North seems to hold, and it's almost like they're doing it on purpose. The North is holding a certain value point, and then you see the South and the Midwest hold a certain value point, and you got the guys all the way in the West who just feel like they're just doing all they want to. And it's gonna pull itself up in a pimple and pop. And to ignore it is what, because we got people in the West that are pushing their agenda in entertainment that's on the borderline of a Sodom and Gomorrah type fashion. We got people in the South who's ignoring COVID, plagues, and viruses, and is one of the top nations or one of the world's top human traffickers for children. We got the North who doesn't really want to have a problem with everybody, but they're just opening up the borders for anybody to come in. The North is so sanctuary statewide that it brings in a division in the people in the South where you have a lot more the Caucasian race to feel entitled because they stole the nation in the first place. You got the people in D.C. who are corrupt, falling under these corporate businesses, has only been strong for 70 years.
Mm-hmm.
So the nation has only been strong. Really, the United States, for what it is, it's only been 70 years and only been a superpower since 1940 when they decided to bomb Hiroshima and take over the world after the world destroyed itself. So in general, America's not a smart nation, period. They're just opportunities.
Wow.
But we write the history book.
Okay, let's stay within our 3-minute radius. Let's stay within our 3-minute radius because we getting close. It's 33 right now, so I want to get as many people now. Some more people wanted to respond to Leonard's question. Who else wanted to respond? Somebody else wanted to say something? Good morning.
I was saying I agree with Leonard that it's humanity. You know, people are trying to get out of America, but people are also trying to get to America because even though they're there, their customs, they're not used to it no more. You know, like in Pakistan, yeah, they will stick a hot coal on your tongue. You know what I'm saying? To see if you're lying. Like there are some things that they just don't have the opportunity of, and that's their way of living, just like us. You know, there's people in America who don't think it's a problem, but we all know that they're problems. You know what I'm saying? So I agree. This is a humanity issue. It's not about America. We can only normalize with it because we're in America. Just like when we talk about black people, I can only talk about it because I'm black. So we can only do it because we're in America. But I agree. There are some wicked people all over. And if we just look at some of the things that really happen in other countries, I'm good right here, honey. This is enough freedom that I ain't free in. And when you go other places, they're just as wicked. So I agree with Leonard.
Wow.
Jerusalem been at war forever.
Anybody else?
I'm trying to figure out where do people believe this great moral standard is?
Okay. Let me go to somebody else.
To me, it's about equal respect. You know, America has a demand. They created the United Nations. And I think with the World Health, they create all these organizations for people around the world to treat everybody equally. And then they go and commit war crimes and then hide it, cover it up. You have cases where they actually, the NSA and all these different organizations actually did things against their own citizens. Germ warfare, biological warfare, chemical warfare, you know, and then you go to other countries. You know, we got to remember Africa or not Africa, Korea, in the Korean War. A lot of people don't understand that America was accused of germ warfare, sending bugs over there, just like they did in Florida, just like they did in Savannah, Georgia, infecting people that looked a certain way, tearing up their ecology. You know, I mean, in the name of war. Okay, but now when you're doing it to your own citizens, African American at that, before I got online, I was reading an article about how the United States military and the CIA was using BZ, a much more severe form of LSD, against African Americans. How many hundreds of thousands of soldiers that they tested drugs on unwittingly. These people didn't know they were being tested with drugs that was going to drive them crazy, and how many people died. I mean, so, you know, when you start looking at stuff like that, you look at the fact that I don't know of another country that has sent anybody over here to kill anybody like they killed Saddam Hussein and his sons. I don't know of any other country that came over here to kill Bush like they killed Muammar Gaddafi. I don't know of any other country that sets things in place to disrupt their whole livelihood. Man, we destroyed Iraq. Iraq's still trying to rebuild. We go and destroy all these other places. You don't see too many other countries. And then if they are doing it in other countries, we still got to hold our country accountable, because we have this honorable thing, this model that we live by: America the Great, America the Beautiful, and God we trust, God's country. All this destruction, but we the only country on the planet to drop a bomb, an atomic bomb on people. I mean, so there's a lot of history that shows that the power structure in this country that claims is out for the best of humanity is only out for their best interest, and that is worldwide.
Absolutely. We have Shay with us this morning. Young lady, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. How are you?
Doing well. We're asking the question of, can America survive with everything that's going on today, with all the racism, all the hate, all the stuff that's going on, the coronavirus? And Cassandra, she pointed out that in the last days, it doesn't even mention America as a superpower. So can America survive? What do you say to that?
I believe we've survived this long, and I believe we're going to continue.
Mm-hmm.
We've been through everything you said, racism. We've been through pandemics already. There's a lot of things that America has been through, and they're still standing strong.
Standing strong. That's up for that's up for discussion right there. Whether it's actually still standing strong, but I understand what you're saying. Let me go to our Friday. What's on your heart, sister? What do you say to that? Can America survive?
Yes, I think America can survive. Like I said, I think the redistribution of Americans who will survive will be different, and then therefore how we operate will be different.
Mm-hmm.
As it goes into world play, America's position will change, and America will be humbled.
Mm-hmm.
They will be humbled.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. K with an E. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Fine, and you?
Hey, doing good. Doing good. Sis, can America survive?
They can survive. They have to survive because they have to survive so that they can see what's next. Because they ain't seen nothing yet. It ain't over. This is just the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you now. Uh-huh.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I just I don't want I will never debate anybody about the Bible, okay? Because it says what it says. If you and I want everybody to go ahead, you can Google it and go read the word what it says for itself. The countries that are mentioned in the last days are Libya, Persia, Ethiopia, China, Russia, and Israel. That's it. As far as being like really doing something and making moves at that time. So if anybody on here can go in and find me the United States in the end time scripture as far as what will be happening in Armageddon or the war, the Russia and all of that, please find it for me and show me the United States. The Bible is full of symbolism, but God would not put anything in there that could not be explained. Why would he do that? So all we have to do is read and research for ourselves. And that's my thing. Research, and then you come back and tell me where America is mentioned in the end time.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And most people would even say now, really, America is Israel.
Cassandra?
America is Israel.
Well, America has never been Israel and will never be Israel. Israel is a specific place.
Is this? We created.
I'm just saying. No. I'm just saying. No. I just want to go scripture. Israel is Israel, and Israel is located where Israel is located, and that's it. United States is not in any way, shape, or form, or will ever be Israel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what? Cassandra is dead on. I'm going to add this real quick. America has a tendency to interject itself into parts of history and parts of scripture that they don't belong, because we are not mentioned in Revelations. That is true. What has changed the narrative is you had so-called religious scholars and so-called academic minds that needed to change the narrative. And what they did was they psychoanalyzed, or they analyzed, or they interpreted certain things that was it John that wrote Revelations? I can't remember who's the writer of Revelations, but it's either John, Paul, or it's John. I can't remember. It's John that wrote Revelations, right? But what they've done is they have basically interpreted certain things that's talked about in Revelations to equate to America. But from a strictly pinpointed point of view, Cassandra is right. America is not mentioned at all. At all. But there's those that will break down the scripture and tell you, okay, you see this right here, they're talking about America right here. You see this right here, they're talking about America right here. Like, I believe somewhere in there it says something about that great city on a hill will be toppled. So the thought is that great city on the hill that's going to be toppled is America. So, and even when you drift over to Islam, Islam will tell you in certain sectors of Islam, the belief is, and the belief and the ideology is, for example, when it talks about the thing showing the female, I think it's a female showing up on a pale white horse and this, that, and the third. Certain sectors of society equates that to the white man trying to dominate over God, and God is saying, no, I'm gonna wipe you out. So there's several different interpretations, but Cassandra is right. America is not, ain't nothing in there say United States of America.
Yeah, exactly. Good deal.
She is right about that.
Let me go to Shay. What's on your heart, sis? I called her right when she was drinking some milk or something. What's on your heart?
Oh, right now, nothing. Trying to get to this appointment without speeding.
There you go. Hey, good deal. Good deal. VP, talk to me.
I think everybody brought a very, very valid point. Even Leonard, that to put up the moral standard of it. In the end, this nation is showing division. It doesn't know. America doesn't even want to be America anymore. We already got a certain demographic in this country that's showing separatism. The last election, 49% of the nation decided that they would love hate more than they would love cohesiveness. That's telling you where this nation is going in the future of America in itself.
Wow. Donald Toussaint, what's on your heart, brother? Can America survive?
No, they're not gonna survive. They got a day of reckoning, and it's coming. I might not live to see it, but everybody gets their just desert. That's just me saying it. I don't know. I might not be the brightest person, but they tell me you reap what you sow.
Yes, sir.
And we've been getting away with stuff for years, years and centuries. And everybody ain't our friend.
Yes, sir.
We've been trying to police the world for years, manipulating folks, killing folks, going over to other countries to keep it quiet. Why we overseas when we can't take care of home?
Exactly. Come on.
Can you keep on giving away money to people that don't want to work? And okay, I think Raheem, me, you, Kurt, Cassandra, if she ain't got hers yet, even Rico, we want anybody Social Security because they tell me it's gonna run out sooner or later. Because the generations behind us have to put in the Social Security for us to have. And if you don't have nobody working, the Social Security money is running out. So look at what we're doing now. This country is rewarding people for not going to work.
Exactly.
Instead of working for what they get. And instead of them saving that money, they're going out and buying TVs and going on vacation.
Wow. I think we got
and they want their parents to pay their bills. Okay.
Buy what they want and beg for what they need. I see that all the time. We have, I think we have Brother Pete with us. Pete, you with us, brother?
I am. How we doing, DKM Radio, listening audience panel? How we doing this morning?
Hey, doing good. How you doing this morning? We asking the question,
Doing
brother.
good.
Asking the question: can America survive? Can America survive? What's on your heart?
America can survive if she turns from her wicked ways and aligns herself back into a fold of righteousness and truth.
Thank you,
that's a long stretch. You're dealing with the hearts of men and the pursuits of men and flesh and blood that think that they are in control. So that's the issue. Those that are in power, are they going to align themselves with the standard of truth and righteousness, or are they going to continue on in their stiff-necked, hard-nosed ways and thereby reap the rewards of their deeds? I've heard us saying that the country is not in the Bible. We don't see it in the Bible. I can somewhat agree with that as well. But when we're talking about that symbol of that female on the horse and all that, that's Catholicism. That's fornicated with all nations. And the derivatives that come out of Catholicism, the Book of Denominations, you can obtain it, probably $12, $15, will give you a record of all the different denominations. Remember, in the Bible, Jesus said, upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it. He's talking about a singular fold of belief, okay? And that's part of his duty up under his father's administration. And it's none of that. Catholicism is basically just a backslidden Church of God. When you read in the Bible, it keeps talking about the Church of God, the people of God is the Church of God. It keeps talking about the Church of God, the Church of God. Now, you may call yourself the Church of God, but if you are not in line with the doctrine and the administrative process of what the creator of all of the things we identify to be God has laid down as what his will, ways, word, and is to be, then you are not in line with his administration, period. So let us understand that that's talking about Catholicism and all the derivatives that come out of her. That's what they're denoting in the Revelation. America still has, God is merciful. In your own personal lives, when you were untoward and doing unfavorable things, God talked to you, gave you a chance, struggled with you, worked with you. You either conceded or you kept going. So he's merciful. The Bible says he wished that no flesh, no souls, would perish. But he also says, vengeance is mine, I'm going to repay. I'm going to holler at you now for what you do. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to let you do what you want to do. But trust and believe, know and understand that when the time comes, me and you going to have an appointment. And I'm going to holler at you. And
exactly.
That's what it is. Ain't going to be no lawyers, no cronyism, no nepotism. It ain't gonna matter if you're rich or poor. You're gonna get what you got.
Good deal. Hold right there for a second, Pete.
And that's what it is.
Okay, good deal. Hold right there, Pete. Let me pull some more people into the conversation. Don't go nowhere. Stay right there for a second. Tori, you want to see? I heard you in the background back there. What's on your heart?
Yeah, I'm with him. That's right. Because all these nations are God. And any nation that rises up is because of God. And any nation that falls is because of God. But when he comes, he coming for individuals. He ain't gonna be asking me about America. When I get there, he gonna ask me, what did you do with the things I gave you, this, that, and third? So I agree with the brother, man. God don't want nobody to leave here. But if you don't want to listen to him, goodbye, no matter where you're at.
Cassandra?
Well, I'm just gonna go back to scripture. I'm just gonna go back to scripture. Okay. So when the word of God says that a great nation is built on godliness, and that anything else is a shame and a disgrace. In Proverbs, I'm just wondering how the United States, with its decline on how it treats its very own people, how is it going to maintain its greatness? It cannot maintain it. It is not maintaining it. And if we pay attention, we can see that it's not maintaining its greatness. There is a decline. China is on the rise. That anybody can see that. Everybody owes China money. Everybody. Just about every country you can name owes China money. And China is infiltrating Africa and every other country in the world. So then, you know, we can, I don't want to say what I think. I want to put it back to the word of God. Yes, we could repent, but guess what? This country is so wicked that a lot of these people are not going to repent. And guess what? God will destroy innocent people, allow innocent people to be killed when a country is wrong or are not doing right. So we see that throughout the Bible where whole areas were destroyed because of one group of people doing wrong. God took out everybody. The children, the dogs, said kill everything. So, you know, we can say how merciful God is, but please let's remember that God is a God of wrath as well.
Wow, good deal. VP? VP, you there? Okay, we might.
Sorry, I'm fighting me, bud.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Cassandra's on it fully, and that still ties back to Leonard's moral standard. We don't have morals, and although we pretend with the Church of God scenario, we pretend that we have God in our heart, but it's easier for it to look that way than it is to really live that out. And America in general, and I'm going back to 70, 80 years, we've perpetuated that we've been this upstanding country, but the world around us is even with Rico's explanation of the World Health Organization. When I did African American studies in college, the World Health Organization was scrutinizing us because we were sending our musicians over there to entertain them like trained monkeys, but keeping them separated from the Caucasian race. So we would want to put them out there to perform and then push them on the background and say, hey, this is America. This is what America does. And we've been doing, they kept that same scenario and tactic all the way up to today. Same with when you get a president that can get on TV and tell people to storm a Capitol that he just got out of and get nothing from it, the nation's going in the wrong direction. This nation's not going to survive. It's not going to survive. Our generation may see it go, see through it, but my son and maybe his son will probably be on a new flag.
Wow.
On the same country.
Wow. Curtis, what's on your heart, brother?
I'm listening to what everybody's saying, and the last brother is definitely dead on, because when I read, it says that the world as we know it will not exist, and God is a God of wrath. Cassandra is dead on point. He is a God of wrath, but I'm gonna be on the optimistic side of this, and I'm gonna say this to each and every person that's on this phone, especially on this panel. As a sinner, I thank God for y'all. You want me to tell you why I thank God for y'all? Because see, y'all the type of people that God will come and seek counsel from. If we read in the Bible, God had gotten so frustrated and angry with the Israelites that he came to Moses and walked with Moses. And he told Moses, look, in so many words, I'm going to sum it up because I don't know it verbatim. Man, I'm sick of these folks. Now, I done brought them out of the oppressor. I done bowed about it. I did this. I done did that. I done gave them food. I done gave them this. I done gave them water. I done gave them everything they need to just sustain. The only thing they got to do is follow me and they'll get the promises given to them. And because I'm tired, I'm going to kill them all. I'm going to wipe them off the planet. I did it before. I do it again. If you read the scriptures say Moses kind of looked down like, whoa, bro. No, these were an oppressed people. They didn't know. They had forgotten of you as a result of their oppression.
Now listen, let me go back. I done told these people let me go back and talk to them. And God told him, all right, go on back and talk to him, Moses. This is going to be the last time I'm saying it to him now. Go on back and talk to him. But tell him get right. So it is, in my opinion, that God is trying to show us before destruction how to get right. See, all the stealing and all the pillaging and all the raping and all the denigration and all that foolishness to oppressor people is now front and center, and it cannot be denied. It can't be covered up. The government is now having to give money back to the people they've been taking from for decades.
Wow.
We talk about handouts. That's not a handout. I mean, keeping it real, it's not a handout. Okay, Ryan, I know we ain't got a lot of time. It's only 2 minutes for the show. When you realistically think about it, right? You get up, you go to work every day. If you look at your check, you pay a average percentage of 28% in taxes just off your check. Is it safe for me to say that, Leonard? Because I know your numbers kind of do when it come down to money.
You close enough.
It's safe for me to say. Now that's 28%.
33.
Is it 33? Okay, we'll go with the high number. We'll go with the 33%. Take that, set that to the side. Now think about how many taxes you pay per month when you pay your car payment, your gas and electric, your mortgage, your phone bills, your grocery bills. Now add those taxes up together. Somebody tell me a ballpark figure how much you pay in taxes a year.
Wow. A year.
If you take the 33 and you add it with the taxes that you just normally pay just for buying clothes, this, that, and the third, things that you need to sustain you. When I looked at it, it came out to be about 52%. So tell me where you're getting 52% of your tax money on a daily and constant basis. That represents the things that you need, the things that you want, and the things that must be done to better the common society. You're not.
Exactly.
So it is my belief that God, and I'm going to end with this. It is my belief that God has said, you know what? Y'all people not going to keep treating my people bad. And because you've been taking, you've been stealing, you've been killing, you've been pillaging, you've been raping these people all these years, guess what I'm going to do? I'm not only going to put it on Front Street, but I'm going to make you have to give back everything you took.
Good deal. Good deal. Let me get the phone number. Somebody, Chris is asking for the phone number. Chris is asking for the phone number. Chris, the phone number you can definitely call in is 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. We only got about 3 minutes before we get out of here. So if you can call, you need to call right now. 508-924-3521. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Man, it's interesting, and it motivates people to go and find out for themselves the truth as best they can find it. There are certain people who know and certain people don't. Prophets don't have to be right. It has to be revealed. So you can't know right now. Once it is revealed, that's the only time you will know. So it does not matter how you believe or what you believe. A prophet is worth is if he said what he said is revealed. And this notion about the scripture, King James Version, how long King James been dead, but you got a new King James Version? Explain it. Explain it. You can't, because it's a bunch of foolishness. And it's meant to cause division. Everyone believes they know what they know. Wait for it to be revealed before you become so invested in it. God can change his mind right now. He can change your life right now, despite everything you've done. If you ask for his grace and his mercy, he will give it to you.
Good deal.
I love Big Brother Pete when he said, the gates of hell won't prevail against God's people. But everybody else is going to have a serious problem.
Exactly. Let me go to him. We'll go to Tucson, then we're coming back to Pete. And we just got a caller, so I don't know who this caller is. The caller just came in, but we'll come to the caller as well. Give me 1 second, caller. We'll come to you as well. Tucson, what's on your heart?
I'm going to take 30 seconds. Vengeance is mine, says the Lord, I'm going to repay. I'm going to paraphrase that. and the wages of sin is death.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we have coming? Payday coming after a while. That's what I'm saying.
Wow. Wow. Pete, what's on your heart, brother?
God can spare for one or two. He can spare for one or two. On the spiritual side, naturally speaking, we see what's going on in society. It's not looking good. In the global scheme, America does not fit into the global scheme. We understand that there are efforts afoot right now to make some moves on the planet. That just should be obvious, okay? So I would just follow with my brother. Let us all find ourselves to be found in the right place, in the right spiritual condition, and just stay ready. You know, we know not the time, but it's appointed unto man to die, and after that, the judgment.
Exactly. K with E, what's on your heart, sis?
Man, Cassandra said, I think it was Cassandra said that in the Bible, look for it in the Bible. So I'm sitting there trying to Google it because it was a question I didn't heard before. And they said that it's mentioned 54 times in the Bible. We have 54 scriptures about the America in the Bible, but never once did it say America or United States. Then it said, God bless America. Is it a prayer, a promise, or a prophecy? We can see and hear the slogan in music, on bumper stickers, and in casual conversations and campaigns, historical Mormons in nations, life, both joyful, sorrowful, from podiums and parades, and in a host of other public and religious forums. Will God bless the United States in the future? Is there any sure word of our nation's future in the Bible generally? In the prophetic passages specifically, is amazing. One of the most frequent asked questions because Willie, he said, God bless America. They said so. God will bless America. I was like, okay, that's okay. He'll bless those, and we can ask. Like, I think that was Kurt said that if we ask, he'll give. He ain't gonna. He's not. If we ask, he'll give. We have to be obedient. So when we ask, we got to be obedient and ask.
Good deal.
And he'll give.
Absolutely.
We can't be standing and ask and think he's gonna give because that ain't how it works.
Okay, good deal. Everybody, give me your quick version because we got to get out of here. It's already 5 after. Rico, what's on your heart? Told you what the T coming to you next.
I just wanted to say that, we got to remember the science of psychology and propaganda. I know Toya had said earlier, and we probably going to talk about this later, but she said that people breaking their neck to get over here all the time. They're breaking their neck to get over here all day. And the thing is they're getting over here because they want to achieve that American dream, keyword dream. And see, the perception that people have on the outside looking in is never what it is when it truly gets here. So some know when they come here that they want to come just chasing the materialistic things that America has to offer. Some come with an illusion and they find out when they get here it ain't what they thought it was going to be. But we got to always remember, at one point in time, we thought everything in Africa was in the bush and in the desert. We didn't know that they had civilization going on over there either. So at one point in time, people weren't breaking their neck to go to Africa, but now they are too. So that really doesn't dictate whether or not America is a favorable country. It just means that it has promoted itself quite well.
Exactly. Now, Toya, what does it mean I'm living my best life? Is that all about material things, or what exactly is that? What is that saying?
It depends on you and what your best life is. Everybody got their own rendition. For some people, it might be trafficking kids. Who knows? But in the standard of society, we think living our best life is just, getting the cars, the clothes, the American dream, basically in a nutshell. But I will say, hey, I'm like Moses. I don't know what's going to go on, but I pray that God helps save others. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, as long as I do what the Lord say, I know He's going to save me. But I'm a selfish person, man. Please, Lord, for just you, we don't know no better. And the same way you came and worked on me, you can come and work on them. And if it don't take but one prayer, just like it took Abraham to save all of humanity, I'm with that. So I'm kind of, backing up off of saying what's not going to be, because we got to be careful of what we say. But I believe God, and I believe He gave us power. And I believe He gave us the power to save anything that needs to be saved, as long as we're doing it in His name.
Absolutely. Leonard, coming to you, and then we're going to close it out with Cassandra. Leonard, what's on your heart?
I will yield my time to Cassandra.
Cassandra?
Oh, that's so cute. Thank you. No, listen, of course, the United States is mentioned in the Bible symbolically. We know that, okay? So and I never said it wasn't mentioned in the Bible. What I said was it wasn't mentioned for the end time. It will not be one of the powers fighting in the end time. So that means that there has to have been some type of decline that took place that took them out of that superpower position. Listen, I live in this country. I have children. I have grandchildren and great grandchildren. So then, of course, I want to see this country make it. But guess what? It's not just up to me. It's up to this country to turn from their wicked ways, and they are not. First of all, we have hatred and racism at an all-time high. You can say about slavery, we're about back at slavery, the way that this thing is going backwards in this country. So I pray for this country daily that it will turn around, that it will seek the face of God. But the bottom line is we have people here that are determined to take this country on a downward spiral like it's going, and all of us are going to suffer for it. That's it.
Exactly. Good deal. Good deal. Now we're about to get out of here. Does anybody have anything before we get out of here? I don't want to close out with somebody having something on their heart. Anybody got anything on their heart before we get out of here?
Yeah, I wanted to notice out here, and I'm do this quick. It says, look, that just me thinking that this country is in the Bible. Moreover, the Lord will scatter you among all people from one end of the earth to the other. I'm gonna stop right there.
Exactly. That's good.
Hey, Raheem.
Yes, sir.
Raheem. Can I just leave with this?
Yes, sir.
You know, one of the things I've been looking at is, and I've been a strong believer of this over the last few years, probably 10 years. I believe we're living in the days of Ezekiel, man. And I believe it's a bunch of us who are Ezekiel, and we standing in the land of dry bones. And we battling what we've already seen, and the battle is between what we've already seen that dictates our behavior and the possibilities of what we can do and what we can achieve, man. I highly recommend everybody, just sit down, the listeners, sit down and read the book of Ezekiel, and then you'll see the transformation that's going to come in this country and in this world.
Good deal.
That's what I believe, bro.
Absolutely. Rico.
Yeah.
Go ahead and say it, brother.
If you missed today's show and you would like to catch the replay in its entirety, you can tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.dkmmediagroup.com.
Good deal. Good deal. Let me see. Donna Tucson. We just lost Donna. He just left out. Let me go. VP, you still with us, brother?
Yes, sir.
Let me get you the prayers out today.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Father God, I thank you for another day in this fellowship. Thank you for the media radio group for allowing us to come together as believers and get out calls and a call for any type of scenario that we can put God and put glory to his name. Bless all those that were part of this, those who couldn't be a part of this. Watch over them as they go through the day. Find any enemy that wants to trap them and put some type of spike in the involvement of any growth that goes towards them, and be a blessing upon the lives of their families and their friends. And do this in the Lord Jesus' name, I pray.
Amen. Amen. See, y'all didn't know it was a preacher over there. Y'all didn't know it was a preacher over there. Listen, it is now it is now 10:11. We're about to end. I want to thank everybody for joining us, and more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your morning. It is now 10:12. You're about to exit the Morning Glow, but before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us, because we're definitely praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug, because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And we shine some of this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Love you. And take care of each other. Have a great day.